Welcome to Mickey, Marvel, and More, Disney news, commentary, and opinion. From theme parks to Thanos and from Skywalker to Skyliner, my family and I will discuss it all. So let's go!
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hello, Mark here, and welcome to another episode of Mickey, Marvel, and More. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're a long-time listener, we really appreciate your continued support. And if you're a newer listener or just joining us for the very first time, thanks for spending some of your very valuable time with us. And we hope you become a long-time listener as well. So let's all take a seat around the virtual table and talk about all things Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, the whole shebang. First up, how about a little listener mail?
What message? The one you've just been playing. The one you're carrying inside your rusty innards.
During our last family chat about Star Wars May the 4th holiday, where Laura and I were talking all about the history and all of the different events and activities that are offered during the May the 4th celebration, at one point I was talking about doing a review of the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and Laura thought I was talking about doing a boots on the ground report about the Mandalorian and Grogu food and toys that Burger King was offering. It was kind of a blooper, but because it was so funny, we just kind of rolled with it and left it in the show. And I jokingly said, if any of our listeners wanted to give us a boots on the ground Burger King, Mandalorian, and Grogu report, feel free to do so. Well, guess what, folks? One of our loyal listeners did just that. Loyal listener and now official new friend of the show, Craig, rolled into Burger King and sampled the entire Mandalorian and Grogu menu and sent us a full report. We'll put a link in the show notes to Burger King's complete Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu menu so you can follow along with us. Basically, Burger King is offering 4 different food items and a collectible cup. You only get the collectible cup if you order what's called the Bounty Bundle, where you get all 4 items being offered during this special promotion, as well as one of the 4 collectible Mandalorian and Grogu cups. Our new friend of the show, Craig, purchased the Bounty Bundle so you don't have to, and sampled each item, and here are his complete reviews. First up, Craig sampled the Barbecue Bounty Whopper, and this is what he had to say about it. I'm not a Burger King fan, but I do like this Whopper. The barbecue sauce is a sweet sauce with bacon, and it has the normal lettuce and tomato and Swiss cheese and pickles on it. It's a sweeter tasting sandwich, but I really like it, and I'm pretty sure that I would get this sandwich again. This is what Craig had to say about the next item on the list, the Grogu Blue Cookie Shake. He says it's a vanilla shake with blue coloring, just like the True Moo blue milk. It has a crunchy sugar cookie topping, and he says it's just okay, but it has a good taste, sort of like a vanilla surfer cookie. By the way, the True Moo blue milk that Craig speaks of is one of the items we forgot to mention during our Star Wars May the 4th conversation. True Moo is a company that produces different kinds of flavored milks, and starting at the beginning of May and running through June, or of course until supplies last, they are producing the famous blue milk from the Star Wars films. So if you're hankering for a little bit of that blue milk, head to your local grocery store and see if you can find it. Next up, Craig sampled Grogu's garlic chicken fries. Craig says these are thin, glorified chicken nuggets, and they are just okay. Finally, Craig sampled the Imperial Cheddar Ranch Tots, hopefully before he had to have his stomach pumped. Craig said the Ranch Tots are deep-fried cheese curds, and they have the same breading as the chicken fries, and they are just okay as well. Craig, I can't thank you and your stomach enough for this detailed, boots-on-the-ground Burger King Star Wars meal report. For those of you that want to be just like Craig, and, well, who doesn't, head on out to Burger King now through the end of June to sample the Mandalorian and Grogu menu. Like I said before, the link to the limited-time Burger King menu is down in the show notes. Craig, as an official new friend of the show, I only wish I had some Star Wars-themed antacid to send your way. But you know, the budget here on Mickey, Marvel, and More is really, really small. The best I can offer you is a Star Wars themed crisp high five. If you want to become a friend of the show just like Craig, head on down to the show notes and comment on any of our stories or our family chats on any of our social media pages, or send us a good old-fashioned email to Mickey Marvel and More, all one word, at gmail.com. And if we read your comment on the show, you too will become an official friend of the show. Please note that you do not have to destroy your stomach like Craig did just to become an official friend of the show. Now, with all of that housekeeping out of the way, on to the rest of the show. In this episode's family chat, Laura and I are going to sit down around the virtual table and bring back what is probably our most popular family chat segment, Park Bites.
Oh, boy.
In this latest installment of Park Bites, we're going to travel around to all of the different Walt Disney World resort hotels and visit their quick service and table service locations and give you our full recommendations about what is good and what is not so good to eat. But before we get to that, how about a little news from in and around the Disneyverse?
Ahoy there, mates, and welcome aboard our Walt Disney World Ferryboat. We are casting off for a mile-long journey across the Seven Seas Lagoon.
For the first time in decades, a new ship is joining the Magic Kingdom's fleet. The Magic Kingdom, as you know, is currently in the midst of one of its largest expansions ever as they get ready to add both the Cars-themed Piston Peak and Villains Land to Disney World's original theme park. And to support all of the new visitors that these new additions will bring, Disney just announced a new ferry boat is being added to the fleet of watercraft that transports guests from across the Seven Seas Lagoon between the Magic Kingdom and the Transportation and Ticket Center where everybody has to park. What's truly amazing to me is that it's been 50 years since they have added a ferry boat to this fleet. With the way crowds have been over the past several years, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner. The new 120-foot-long, 600-passenger boat is scheduled to begin operation in 2027 and will be named after Meg Gilbert Crofton. Who is that, you say? Well, to be quite honest, I didn't know either, so I had to look her up. And she turns out to be a pretty important person in Disney Parks history. After beginning her career at Disney in 1977 as a marketing manager, Crofton held several titles over the years, culminating with her becoming the Walt Disney World's fourth president from 2006 to 2013. Crofton, whose term as president coincided with the major expansion projects at the Walt Disney World Resort, including the new Fantasyland expansion, the Magic Kingdom, and the construction of the Art of Animation Resort. She also has a window on Main Street, which was dedicated in her honor in 2015. She said of the ferry naming announcement, "I was humbled to learn that my name would be on this new ferry boat. It means so much to me to be recognized by the cast members that I had the privilege of working with for so many years." The other ferry boats that cross the Seven Seas Lagoon are also named after other Disney legends that were important to Disney World's theme park history. Admiral Joe Fowler, General Joe Potter, and Richard F. Irvine are the other Disney legends that the current three ferry boats are named after. As with Fowler, Potter, and Irvine, a portrait of Crofton, as well as a plaque detailing all of her accomplishments, will be displayed on the ship, sharing Meg's story with generations of guests as they glide across the Seven Seas Lagoon, according to Disney Imagineering. Hopefully, adding this new ferry boat to the fleet will help make that wait between the Transportation and Ticket Center and the Magic Kingdom just a little bit shorter. Be sure to stick with us here on Mickey, Marvel, and More for all the latest Disney theme park news and announcements.
Wait! Oh my! What have you done? I'm backwards! You sleep-eaten furball! Only an overgrown mophead like you would be stupid enough.
$1 million for a disembodied droid head? Well, this is just another normal day for rich people in the world of high-end movie collectibles. I have always been fascinated by the amount of money people are willing to spend on rare movie props. I'm especially interested in, well, obviously, Star Wars movie props and what they go for on the open market. And I guess I've also got to say maybe a little bit jealous that I can't afford these things. And you know what? I'm also going to go out on a limb here and say that Laura is probably really happy that I can't afford these things. Well, the prop store in Los Angeles is at it again. They kicked off their latest auction with a bang as the rarest piece of Star Wars memorabilia in years changed hands for 7 figures. What's the prop that we're talking about here? Well, it's the light-up C-3PO head worn by Anthony Daniels during the production of The Empire Strikes Back. This C-3PO costume piece was sold at the prop store's ongoing entertainment memorabilia auction for $1,058,400. Wow. It blew past the pre-sale estimates of $350,000 to $700,000 that they thought they might earn and landed the protocol droid firmly in the rarefied club of movie props that have cracked the 7-figure mark. And what makes this one particularly interesting isn't just the price, it's the scarcity. According to the prop store, this is the only known example of C-3PO's head from the second film to appear on the collector's market. There isn't another one. This is it. Period. To put it all into perspective, someone paid nearly $4 million for Darth Vader's lightsaber last year. So C-3PO's cranium comes in at a relative bargain price by comparison. But $1 million for a prop head still tells you everything you need to know about how serious the Star Wars collector's market has gotten these days. So I guess it's time for me to run upstairs, roll up all of my spare coins that I have laying around, and see if I can afford Harrison Ford's pocket lint at the next auction.
Jumbo, everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris.
And finally, it's time for some of our favorite news here on Mickey, Marvel, and More, baby animal news. 3 baby piggies were just born backstage at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. These 3 tiny Red River hogs are among the most colorful and distinctive wild pigs in the world. Red River hogs are found in parts of West and Central Africa and are characterized by their bright reddish-brown fur and unique facial markings. Right after the 3 piglets were born, Dr. Mark Penning, Vice President of Animals, Science, and Environment for Disney, posted some pictures on his Instagram page of Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge's newest additions, including shots of the piggies snuggled up together and bonding with their mom. Links to this story, as well as links to Dr. Penning's Instagram page, can be found down in our show notes, so you can see all of the pictures of the piggies for yourself. Eventually, the babies will join the rest of the Red River hogs and be visible to guests at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Disney has also celebrated the births of other Red River hogs in 2022 and 2023. As always, Mickey, Marvel, and More will continue to bring you all the big and tiny Disney animal news, so stick with us.
I am a little hungry.
You are? Hear that? She's hungry. Stoke the fire. Break out the silver. Wait the china.
Remember what the master said?
Oh, pish. I'm not about to let the poor child go hungry.
All right, fine. Glass of water, crust of bread, and then...
Cogsworth, I am surprised at you. She's not a prisoner. She's our guest.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Family Chat, and welcome back to what is probably our most popular Family Chat segment, Park Bites.
Oh, boy. Also known as What's Eating Mark.
And as if you couldn't guess, my co-host for this segment is the lovely Laura. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, this episode of Park Bites,
Oh, boy.
we're going to set our sights on the quick service and sit-down restaurant service at the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. Now, to be fair, we've not gone to every single hotel and we've not eaten at every single hotel, but it's really close. The only ones we truly haven't been to are Coronado Springs, the Yacht Club. We've been to the Beach Club, so I think we kind of know what the Yacht Club is like, although we've not eaten at the restaurants there, and a couple of the All-Stars, right?
Correct.
But we have pretty much either stayed at and eaten at or gone to the hotels themselves to sample some of the foods. I feel like we have a pretty well-rounded approach to this Park Bite segment.
Yeah, agreed.
So let's start off with the worst. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
This is worst counter service.
Yes, worst counter service. And it's interesting because this is a little bit of a hot take. If you follow any sort of social media influencers that are Disney focused, they will tell you that this quick service is the best quick service in the entire Walt Disney World Resort. I think Mark and I would disagree, and we've said it's one of the worst.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the Gasparilla Island Grill at the Grand Floridian.
I don't know where they're getting their information from. I guess it's because we just recently stayed there, so it's fresh in our mind. But the quality wasn't great, and the choices weren't great.
I agree. I mean, I think it all depends on what you're comparing it to.
I suppose.
Probably the allure, and what I have read from those that think it's fantastic is that it's a monorail ride away from the Magic Kingdom.
Right.
It's, of course, not crowded. It's very quiet. And if you were to sit outside on a nice day, you would have a lovely view of Seven Seas Lagoon and a view of the Magic Kingdom. And I suppose in that regard, it is pretty nice. However, when we ate there, we sat inside because we wanted to get the full experience. And I was underwhelmed. I mean, I think a restaurant experience comes down to two things. It's the atmosphere and it's the menu. And for me, both of those were a 0.
I think even in terms of a quick service, the atmosphere is important.
Sure.
I think that something that we have found to be mostly true across the board with all deluxe resorts, their quick service, counter service, grab and go option is usually not as good as the counter service grab and go options at the moderate and the value resorts.
Yes.
I think most cases they are trying to steer you towards going toward their sit down restaurants and their nicer places.
Yes, but I think there are exceptions to that rule, and we'll
Sure.
talk about
yeah,
those on our list.
There is an exception coming up. So I think that Gasparilla Island Grill is it's just not great.
Yeah, the food quality was fine. I found the menu options to be fairly standard and uninteresting.
And there was only like 4.
Yeah, it was not very extensive.
Yeah, not great. And next up on our list of the worst grab and go counter service restaurant is Goods Food to Go over at the Old Key West Resort.
Do you know what I'm doing?
Honey, it's Yellow Jackets. It's bees.
Or is it Goods Food to Go at Old Key West?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's both.
Tell us what you think about Goods Food to Go
So
while the bees entertain us.
Sure. So Goods Food to Go is their counter service location at Old Key West Resort. It is poolside. And if you could shut that off, please. I think it's going to drive me crazy. Every time we have been there has been a lot of bee and yellow jacket activity around that counter service, particularly focused on the self-serve soda machines.
Right.
But it's sort of then, because bees don't just stay in one area, it's sort of in the area where you're waiting for your food. It's in the area nearby. And
the benches and the tables that are right next to it. Covered in bees.
Yeah, it just really makes for a terrible eating experience.
And it's not just been one time.
No.
Multiple times that we have gone there. And to be fair, to give people an idea where this is located, Goods Food to Go is in the main building of the Old Key West Resort, right next door to the main pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's the Sandcastle Pool. Is that what it's called?
That's right. And it is an outdoor location. So
Sure.
there's no option for indoors, which I'm sure is somewhat of a disadvantage. But even then, we have been there multiple times because it is the only counter service location at Old Key West. And we've had bee trouble every single time.
And, you would think that, okay, well, then every outdoor location is going to have this problem. No. There are other outdoor food outlets. And in particular, I think the big problem is the soda machines. There are outdoor soda machines to get your refills over at Bay Lake Tower. They've got them at many of the other deluxe resorts and some of the value resorts.
Yeah.
And there are no bee problems.
Yeah.
I mean, so the number one problem is the bees. The number 2 problem is the food is lackluster. It's fine.
Yeah, there's nothing really particularly interesting on their menu.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all your basic stuff. But the biggest problem It's the bees.
Yeah.
And there's no two ways about it. So
No.
stay away from goods food to go at the Old Key West Resort if you want to avoid our friends, the Yellow Jackets. Okay, guys, you can go away now.
Thanks. Well, so I think we should try to be positive
Oh!
and talk about some of the best counter service restaurants.
All right, we've got a couple of choices here. I've got a couple, and I know you have one for sure.
Yes.
I will start off first that one of my favorite of the counter service grab and go options is the Everything Pop over at the Pop Century Resort.
And that's a value resort.
It's a value resort. They have a pretty massive food court.
Yes.
And I have found that the food courts at the value resorts are usually pretty decent. This one in particular, we have always had good food at.
And there's lots and lots of variety.
Yeah.
They usually have one station for pizza, one station for soups and sandwiches, another station for entrees, like chicken, salmon, for example. And then they usually have a grab and go area that's pretty extensive.
Right.
And so if you just want to grab a pre-made sandwich or a pre-made salad, or even just like veggies and ranch dip, you can grab those out of the counter and take them right up to the check stand.
I got to say, the Everything Pop is everything you want in a quick service location in the Walt Disney World Resort hotels.
Another of the counter service that is on our best list is at a moderate resort, and this is Sassagoula Floatworks and Food Factory at the Port Orleans French Quarter Resort.
Our old stomping grounds.
Old stomping grounds. We've been to this hotel and its food court many, many times, and we've never been disappointed.
Nope.
Much like the value resorts, it also has food stations. So there is one station that's completely dedicated to ice cream, desserts, and their famous beignets.
Oh, yes.
There's another station that is reserved for entrees. But what's a little bit interesting is they throw in a little bit of New Orleans cuisine.
Right.
So jambalaya and red beans and rice. So you get a little bit of Cajun flavor with your other kind of run-of-the-mill entrees. Then there's usually a third food station that serves pizza, burgers, kind of your more basic fare. But again, lots of variety for everyone. I think the food station concept makes it go a little quicker because you're just standing in a short line for the particular thing that you want. And then everybody's going to common checkouts to pay. And it goes pretty quickly.
Yeah, big thumbs up for the Sassagoula Floatworks and Food Factory at the Port Orleans. Okay, up next is one of the things we almost referenced before when we were talking about quick service at deluxe resorts. This is an outlier. It's the Contempo Cafe at the Contemporary Resort.
Yeah, and it's, I think, the exception to the rule. It is a quick service location at a deluxe resort that is really good. So a couple of factors here. Number one, you're in the big atrium of the Contemporary Resort, which is kind of neat because you can see the monorails coming and going. So there's always a lot of activity. Although even though there's a lot of activity, it's not overly noisy or
really.
anything. But there is activity to keep it lively.
Sure.
And I've found that the menu there has always been pretty interesting and lots of things to choose from.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have food stations, it's just one ordering counter. And in fact, usually they encourage you to do mobile order. But it's been some really good food over the years. And we go there every opportunity we have.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about this one for a deluxe resort grab and go quick service, it's pretty large.
It is.
A lot of the quick service at various deluxe resorts is way smaller. The Wilderness Lodge is very tiny. The Grand Floridian we were just talking about is very tiny. This particular location, the Contempo Cafe, it's about 1/4 of the size of the entire Grand Concourse. So it's a really large eating location. So it's never difficult to find seats. And they have some really good options. There's always interesting, different, new flatbread pizzas to try. There are various, there's always a seafood option. There's always burgers. It's really, really good.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the best and worst of the sit-down restaurants in the Walt Disney World Resort hotels.
Yes, also known as table service.
That's right, table service.
So we're going to start with the worst. And the comment that I'd like to make is many of them are just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's any of them that are truly terrible.
None of them are inedible.
But if you're going to a restaurant at a Disney World Resort hotel, I think you expect something a little bit better.
Particularly if it's a deluxe resort.
Right. And many of them are just fine.
Mm-hmm.
We've eaten at many fine restaurants
Right.
that were not outstanding or spectacular or anything other than just sort of average or maybe slightly above average.
And just because they're fine doesn't mean they're cheap.
Exactly. They still charge those deluxe resort prices, even though the menu may be kind of boring and the surroundings are kind of ho-hum. The other thing that we'll say is that at some of these restaurants, it even seems to vary by meal. So one of the first ones we're going to talk about is the Grand Floridian Cafe.
A bit of a head scratcher for me.
Yeah. So we have been there for their breakfast/lunch, brunch, if you will. And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such a pretty restaurant. Of course, it's part of the Grand Floridian Resort, beautiful surroundings. And the lunch and brunch menu is absolutely outstanding.
It was.
It's everything that you would want. Everything from Eggs Benedict to Mickey waffles to pancakes to their signature burger.
Made to order omelets.
Sandwiches, salads, soups, entrees. Really extensive and very, very good. This last trip that we were there, we went for dinner one night.
Same location.
Same location. The restaurant ambiance was the same. It was fine, although definitely much more subdued. I think it really kicks in at breakfast and lunch when you have light streaming in through all those
Right.
windows. It's got a lot of windows in the restaurant.
Yeah, I think all of these restaurants at the Grand Floridian really benefit when it's daytime.
Right.
Because they have a lot of open airy windows and it makes their locations very bright and beautiful. And this is one of them, but at night it was kind of dark and dim.
Right. We found that the dinner menu was kind of lackluster. It had fried chicken, meatloaf, shrimp and grits, burger, but I mean that really was it. I mean that's sort of what they featured, and it just really wasn't anything. Like I said, nothing spectacular.
And the service at the Grand Floridian Cafe was abysmal.
Yeah, we were
It was
definitely
awful.
It really was. We were definitely there towards the end of the night, which shouldn't be any excuse for bad service.
Well, it wasn't just that we were there at the end of the night. They didn't close until 9 or 10. We had a reservation for 7:30.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we were there at 9:30, 9:45 if they closed at 10.
That's true.
We had a reservation for 7:30. They didn't seat us until 8:30.
Right.
So we sat in the lobby for an hour as I slowly watched you wither and starve. At one point, you leaned over to me and said, "I'm going to get real weird. Things are getting real weird." You were so hungry.
Yeah, I was definitely over in hangry territory.
For sure. And the service was super, super slow to get in. And then once we got in, the waiter acted like he was doing us a favor to get us a glass of water.
Yeah, it was really disappointing.
At one point, Parker says, "Well, I guess I've got to really enjoy this Diet Coke because it's my last."
Yeah, and that was true. I think he got one Diet Coke the entire meal, and that was it.
And we never got the bread service we were supposed to get.
No, it was just a bad experience all
Everything
the way around.
about it was bad. So it's interesting to me. I wonder if this particular restaurant has had a downfall, and I wonder if the breakfast and brunch would be the same way. I don't know.
I don't know.
And it's right next door to another one of their sit-down places. So it's a busy, busy hub.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like the seating was slow for everything. I
So-
wonder if they're understaffed.
Well, I'm not sure, but definitely on our worst list for multiple reasons in multiple categories.
Thumbs down for the Grand Floridian Cafe.
So the next worst table service restaurant on our list is dear old Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary.
I feel like we're kind of picking on the deluxe resorts here, but
Well, again, high expectations.
Yeah.
And when they fall short, I think it's much more noticeable.
fair.
Now, this being said, we've been to Chef Mickey's multiple times, and it's still a great place for a character meal if your kids really want to see sort of the Fab Five. So your Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Daisy.
And it's a quick monorail ride from the Magic Kingdom, or you can walk and be there in like 10 minutes.
So in that regard, if your kids want to see characters and they want to see the Fab Five, Chef Mickey's is definitely the place to go. However, if you are going there for any reason other than character interaction, just don't.
Wow, 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 wow. The buffet is awful.
Dear old Chef Mickey's. Yeah, it's a buffet, and it's just kind of standard buffet fare. Nothing interesting. Everything's kind of bland, and there's really nothing to get excited about.
Quite frankly, the best food was in the kids section.
Yeah.
You had the mac and cheese and the chicky nuggies.
Yeah.
It was way better food than they have for adults. I mean, they've got, the standard rice, and then right next to it is the very, very dry, sad-looking salmon pieces.
Yeah.
It's like airplane food.
Yeah.
It is just awful. If you want to have a great character experience and still have good food, I know this is a Park Bites dedicated to the Walt Disney World Resort hotels, but you need to go over to the Garden Grill at the Land Pavilion at Epcot. They have basically the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's Chip and Dale, Mickey and Minnie, and sometimes Pluto.
Uh-huh.
And it's a rotating restaurant, which is amazing because you get to rotate around the Living with the Land ride, and you can look over the edge and see the attraction. So that's a great plus in and of itself. And it's all you can eat, or all you should eat, family style. And it's good food. It's Thanksgiving style food. And there's also fish, and there's roast beef. It is such a much better food experience if you also want to have a great character experience.
Yes.
So thumbs down to poor old Chef Mickey's. We have been there multiple times with our kids. We've been there multiple times with our nieces, and the kids love it, but the parents slowly starve to death. All right, let's turn that frown upside down and head towards the best sit-down restaurants in this Park Bites edition of the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. We've got several. We both have a couple, so I'll let you go first.
So my number one choice on my best list is Boma Flavors of Africa at the Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House.
Oh, it is so good.
First of all, you're in an amazing atmosphere because you're at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and everything is so well themed to that African theme, including the restaurant.
Yes.
And the restaurant overlooks out over their savannah. Now, you can't actually see animals from
Not
the restaurant,
really.
but you can step out on the patio if you want to. And in a few short steps, you would be in view of animals. So it's animal adjacent, I'll say. But really, you don't even go there for the animal viewing. You go for the food because the food here is spectacular.
It is. It's a buffet, which is surprising because sometimes buffets aren't great.
It's a buffet, and I've been there both for their breakfast buffet and their dinner buffet. Both of them are fantastic. It features a combination of African and Asian dishes. Some of them are really exotic, things that I've never had before, and they were delicious.
Yeah.
They also have some American fare so that those that are picky eaters and not adventurous won't starve.
Or the kids you're with.
That's right. But they have some delicious roasted meats. They have some very good curries. They just have a variety of things, and a buffet really is the place to try interesting foods because you can have a little bit of everything, see what you like, see what you don't. And all of our experiences at Boma have been fantastic.
Yeah, theming thumbs up, the food thumbs up. You can't go wrong with Boma Flavors of Africa over at the Animal Kingdom Lodge in the Jumbo House location.
And if you haven't had one of their zebra domes, which is their signature dessert, they are so good, so good.
Definitely.
Imagine, if you will, chocolate mousse with a white chocolate outer shell. Very, very good.
I'm imagining it now, and now I'm hungry. Next up is a brand new one, actually. And we just got a chance to visit it this last time at spring break.
It's the Wailulu Bar and Grill at the Polynesian Resort in their new DVC tower. And I won't talk too much about it because we did just review this restaurant in our last Boots on the Ground spring break trip review.
But it deserves to be on this list.
But it's fantastic. First of all, you do have fantastic views of the Seven Seas Lagoon from anywhere in the restaurant, whether you're sitting inside or outside. They do have a large, extensive patio, and it really is made for patio dining at this restaurant. The menu was really interesting and varied, and everything that we had was very, very good.
Yeah, it was very, very good. You know, we don't need to go into it too in depth because we just talked about this. But what's interesting is a little side note, they just closed it again, or part of it, for a refurbishment. This place just opened.
Yeah.
And what I found out is they were extending the overhang on the outside patio because apparently when it rained, it was coming in sideways and getting the tables wet, so they want to fix that. I guarantee you, if the fans had been on while we were outside at spring break, it would have been a great location because you are directly across from the Magic Kingdom. You've got great views of the ferry boats. You can see the Polynesian village cabins. It is a great view. I think the view is 50% of the attraction to this place.
Right.
But the food is excellent.
I want to give a quick honorable mention to the Hoop-de-Doo review at the Fort Wilderness campgrounds.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't have dinner shows in their resort hotels anymore like they used to. And Hoop-de-Doo is one that we've been to at least once, and it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is, as you would, I don't think it's changed since it started.
Don't think so.
Many, many years ago.
It's one of their longest running shows.
It is, but it's a show that is fun and funny, and it keeps everybody's attention.
Campy, cheesy, corny.
Yes, there's audience participation. The food is served family style. It's barbecued ribs. It's chicken. There's plenty for everyone, and every time we've been, it's a good time. So I'll just plug that as an honorable mention.
I believe it's definitely worthy of the honorable mention. It is a hoot, some would say. So I've got a couple here on the best list that I think are, no question, hands down, probably the two best places that you can get food in the Walt Disney World resort hotel system. First up is kind of my second place, the Whispering Canyon Cafe at the Wilderness Lodge.
Always a favorite.
They have a great menu, and they've got all kinds of different good home-cooked, home-style foods, but the place is famous for its atmosphere.
Yeah.
If you ask for ketchup, you're in trouble. They will bring out a parade of ketchup bottles, and by the time that they are done bringing out the ketchup, you will have about 30 to 40 ketchup bottles on your table, and the next person that asks for ketchup, they make a big deal out of it, then it's your job to take all of those ketchup bottles to the other table. It's really sort of like a cowboy style atmosphere. At one point, the kids ride around on little, stick wooden horses, and there's a parade, and you do the napkin twirling, but it's good home style food, ribs, chicken, steak, fish. We had breakfast there the last time. It was also very, very good. Same atmosphere. They do the same stuff at breakfast, which is a lot of fun. And it is in the very beautiful Wilderness Lodge lobby. If you've never been to the Wilderness Lodge lobby, you are doing yourself a disservice. It is an amazing lobby. Even if you're not staying there, just go to have dinner or breakfast at the Whispering Canyon Cafe and then enjoy some time in the lobby because it is a beautiful resort.
Yeah.
All right. Number one on this list, I think hands down, nobody would disagree with me. The California Grill at the Contemporary Resort. It is chef's kiss.
Yeah, it's definitely the best of the best, and we've enjoyed going there many times over the years. As I said sort of at the beginning of this episode, I think a dining experience for me is really two elements. Number one, what's on their menu, and number two, what are my surroundings and what's the ambiance. And California Grill knocks it out of the park on both counts.
For sure.
First, let's talk about the ambiance. It's at the very top of the Contemporary Resort Hotel. All of the walls are glass, so you can see out over the parks, over the resort, And at dusk or at fireworks time, they lower the lights, they pump in the music, and you can watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks from the restaurant, which is spectacular.
Yeah, those are probably the toughest reservations to get is during that
Yes.
time window. And like you said, the whole place, it's 360 degrees of windows. You can get up and walk around and look, but really from sitting anywhere in there, you're going to have amazing views of all of the Walt Disney World property, especially at night when all the lights are on for the attractions over at the Magic Kingdom. You can see Epcot off in the distance, and it's just an amazing atmosphere. And usually the wait staff is top notch. It's probably some of the best wait staff that I've dealt with in a resort hotel. I think the only thing fancier would probably be Victoria and Albert's over at the Grand Floridian. But since I'm not going to wear a jacket and tie on vacation, we're probably never going to eat at that location.
A couple of notes about the menu at the California Grill. I think that was the first time that you had an old fashioned, and
Yes.
it started your love affair with that drink.
It did. We were there with our family friends, and Andy and we went up to the bar and ordered an old fashioned, and it was probably the best old fashioned I've ever had. And we've been trying to get back to that high ever since. We've tried recreating them at home. We have tried them at other restaurants. We've had good ones, but for some reason, this first one, we've been chasing that high ever since.
I remember the California Grill as being one of the first places that I ever had goat cheese ravioli as an appetizer. I remember it so well because it was so amazing, so fantastic. They still have it on their menu. And I think we were also shocked by the fact that we ordered the ravioli expecting to have multiple ravioli to share as an appetizer. And it was also the first time that we realized that sometimes when you order ravioli, it means singular ravioli.
Raviolum?
Yes, the raviolum.
It was really good, though. The steaks there have always been top notch. I mean, everything about this restaurant is amazing. Yes, it's going to be a little more expensive. Yes, it's a little rough to get the reservations at dusk and in the evening for during the fireworks. But even if you can't get the prime spots, you're never going to be disappointed with the views, and you're never going to be disappointed with the food.
10 out of 10 every time.
100%. Well, that wraps up our Park Bites episode about the quick service and sit-down restaurants at the Walt Disney World Resort hotels.
Boy.
Join us next time for our next Park Bites. Where are we going to go next?
Who knows?
I don't know. You need to stick around with us so you can be there with us and enjoy the journey. We'll see you next time.
Stop her! Want me to sting her? Buzz off. Okay, fine. But remember, be yourself.
Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Mickey, Marvel, and More. And a big thank you goes out to Laura for hanging out in the family chat with me for our latest Park Bites segment.
Oh, boy.
These are definitely our most popular family chat segments, and they are definitely some of our favorite to do. Some might even say that we are food-motivated individuals. Speaking of somebody who was also food-motivated, another big thank you for this episode's listener mail from new friend of the show, Craig, with his boots-on-the-ground Burger King, Mando, and Grogu food report. If you want to be just like Craig, and believe me, you can be just like Craig without having to have your stomach pumped. Just head on down to the show notes and comment on any of our social media pages about any of the news stories or family chats or anything you feel inspired to comment and write in about. You can also use our email address to send any comments, or maybe, if you're brave enough, you might want to do your very own Burger King boots on the ground style Mando food report. And if you do, no extra brownie points for bravery. However, just send it to Mickey, Marvel, and More, all one word, at gmail.com. And if we read any of your comments on the show, you too will become an official friend of the show, complete with all of the non-existent rights and privileges that come with it. And while you're down there in this episode's show notes, Be sure to check out all of the links to all of the counter service and sit-down restaurant menus that we talked about in this episode's Walt Disney World Resort Hotel segment of Park Bites.
Oh, boy.
As always, if you enjoyed this episode, my name is Mark, and this has been Mickey, Marvel, and More. If you didn't, my name is Clive, and this has been Yellow Jackets and Soda. Your tummy may love Sprite, but so do their stingers. We'll see you next time.